consider this matter, and we directed staff to come back with some additional water rate options. To meet the current and future needs of the water enterprise system, staff has developed an additional water rate option. Option 1 remains the same as what was presented at the August 4th meeting, and then option 2 flattens the rate increases, which I believe is what Councilmember Gavello and Councilmember Palmer had asked for. And we do have our finance director here to, you can make a presentation before we?
Both Doug and I will be giving a presentation.
Then why don't you take it away?
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You did such a good job. You could continue with the PowerPoint presentation.
Go for it, my
friend.
friend.
Once we get that up. Okay, again, as you have eloquently put, we're providing you an additional option to the option presented at the August 4th meeting. Again, the summary of the August 4th meeting to discuss the water rate increase. Again, looking at the water service is operating currently at a loss projected in the 08-09 approximately at $1.8 million. Water services reserves have been depleted. We have about $45.8 million in unfunded capital improvement projects. The proposed rate increase is a 7-tier rate structure. It establishes a new capital fee dedicated solely to a pay-as-you-go capital improvement program. It establishes a large meter conservation program as a way of encouraging conservation and returning some portion of credit to those who conserve water. It establishes a pass-through charge that offsets third-party commodities such as from Metropolitan Water District, Orange County Water District, as well as utilities. And again, the City Council asked for an additional option. I wanted to take a few minutes just to kind of run through some photos that we've had of our water system to give you an idea of some of the status of those facilities. The first, obviously, is the Rawlings Reservoir, which has been out of service for 4 years. You can see by the series of photos that the roof structure is deteriorated and collapsed. There's roof members that have fallen into the reservoir. There's lining within the reservoir that is torn and useless. There's a series of several stress cracks within the walls of it and within the foundation. And that just gives you kind of an idea of what that situation there is. This is our Tustin Avenue well, built in 1952. It has a tendency to sand quite often. There's a sand separator that you see. It's exposed to the elements. It needs to be maintained on a daily basis because of the sand issue. At times it discharges a lot of sand, and water service personnel has to respond and has to take care of the meter situations and the problems that causes. See the pump there, it's been in service quite a while and is maintained on a daily basis. This is a picture of the Simon Ranch Reservoir built in 1960. This is the roof structure that exists there today. This picture is the booster pump station that's associated with that reservoir. It's been in service since 1960. It's a fairly cramped site. High voltage, 440 volts, you can see within that facility. And a part of the capital improvement program is to replace this booster station as well as that reservoir. This I like to refer to as the CRIP. It's the OC43 turnout. It's a system that turns off the Metropolitan Water District feeder line. On the backside of that pressure in the Metropolitan system is 160 psi. You can see by that facility, there's no light structure within that. The light that's provided within that vault structure is the light from the manhole and the light from the flash from the picture. Again, this is an area that you can tell it's not a very complicated structure by the look of it. And kind of being facetious, is very complicated structure in terms of regulating the pressure in the meter station that's there. This picture is of the Main Street plant built in 2001. You can see a number of deteriorations that exists there. Again, this is piping and elements that are associated and exposed to the elements there. It's a relatively new facility, but again, it takes maintenance, it takes costs, it takes revenue to improve these facilities on a routine basis. This last picture is the Yorba well, built in 1961. Again, it's a well that's opt-in sands. There's again a sand separator that's there, exposed to the elements. You can kind of see it's right next to a residential community. Vulnerability issues like that, security are of importance to us, and that's a part of the capital improvement program. So with that, I'll